Intersectionality, your greatest superpower in a world that demands conformity. Thank you all for being here today. I stand before you humbled and electrified, carrying insights that have fundamentally shifted my understanding of what drives true innovation and success in our world. Recently, I had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Bibi Faulk, a visionary entrepreneur whose very existence challenges every conventional notion of what business leadership looks like. Bibi isn't just building a company, she's igniting a revolution that's reshaping entire industries. As a Black, disabled, and queer entrepreneur, Bibi has transformed what many would see as barriers into bridges, connecting overlooked communities with products that celebrate their full humanity. Her Calgary based brand of adaptive gear and accessories isn't just filling a market gap, it's healing a wound that the fashion and accessibility industries have long ignored. What makes Bibi's work so revolutionary isn't just what she creates, it's how she creates it. By embracing every facet of her identity, she's unlocked insights that have remained invisible to those operating from positions of privilege and conformity. And that's the counterintuitive truth I want to share with you today. What society tells you to minimize about yourself might actually be your greatest source of innovation, connection, and impact. For generations, we've been fed a dangerous lie about success. We've been told that to thrive, especially as people with marginalized identities, we must sand down our edges, speak more softly, take up less space, hide the parts of ourselves that might make others uncomfortable, assimilate into existing structures rather than creating new ones. This lie hasn't just damaged individuals, it has robbed our world of innovations that could only emerge from diverse perspectives and lived experiences. And it's time we shattered this myth once and for all. Let me explain what I mean by intersectionality. The term, coined by legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw, describes how aspects of a person's identity, race, gender, disability, sexuality, and more overlap and interact, creating unique experiences that can't be understood by examining each aspect in isolation. These intersections aren't abstract concepts, they're lived realities that shape how we navigate the world, what challenges we face, and what solutions we can imagine. Bibi's story illuminates this perfectly. When she entered the market for adaptive gear, she faced an industry that prioritized function over form, creating products that addressed practical needs but ignored the human desire for beauty, self expression, and joy. The prevailing wisdom suggested that people with disabilities should be grateful for whatever accommodations they received, regardless of whether those products reflected their personal style or celebrated their identity. But Bibi recognized something profound, that dignity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. That people with disabilities deserve products that don't just serve their functional needs, but honor their complete humanity. That adaptive gear could be both practical and beautiful, both accessible and fashionable. This insight didn't come from market research or focus groups. It emerged from Bibi's lived experience at the intersection of multiple identities. Her understanding of disability was inseparable from her experiences as a Black woman and as a queer person. These intersections gave her a unique vantage point, allowing her to see possibilities that remained invisible to others. The results speak volumes. Bibi's brand hasn't just achieved commercial success, it's created a community where people feel truly seen, understood, and celebrated. Her customers don't just buy products, they find affirmation, belonging, and joy. This isn't just good ethics, It's brilliant business. And Bibi's experience isn't an isolated case. Throughout history, some of our most transformative innovations have emerged from the margins, not the mainstream. Consider the landscape of Black tech founders documented by the Brookings Institution. These entrepreneurs have historically faced formidable barriers, from securing venture capital to accessing networks to overcoming biases in how their products are evaluated. Yet, despite these challenges, or perhaps because of them, Black tech founders have driven remarkable innovations that serve communities often overlooked by Silicon Valley's homogeneous teams. Take the story of Jewel Burke Solomon, who founded PartPick after witnessing her grandfather struggle to find replacement parts for his manufacturing equipment. The existing system required knowing the exact name or number of a part, information that many people simply don't have. Jewel created a visual recognition technology that allows users to simply take a picture of a part they need to replace. This solution emerged directly from her lived experience and understanding of a problem that more privileged entrepreneurs might never encounter. Or consider Tristan Walker, who founded Walker and Company to address the glaring gap in personal care products for people of color. After years of using shaving products that caused irritation and ingrown hairs, problems particularly common for Black men, Walker created Bevel, a shaving system specifically designed for coarse, curly hair. His company eventually sold to Procter and Gamble for an estimated $100 million, proving that serving overlooked communities isn't just socially valuable, it's economically powerful. These entrepreneurs didn't succeed despite their marginalized identities. They succeeded because their intersectional perspectives allowed them to identify unmet needs and create solutions that more homogeneous teams simply couldn't imagine. This pattern extends beyond individual success stories to systematic approaches for supporting Black entrepreneurship. The Center for Community Uplift at Brookings Metro recognized this when they introduced the Black Business Parity Dashboard, a tool that tracks disparities in business ownership and provides actionable insights for policy and business leaders. This dashboard reveals stark gaps. Black Americans represent about 14% of the US population, but own just 2.3% of employer businesses. The typical Black owned business has just 23% of the revenue of the typical white owned business. These disparities aren't accidents or coincidences, they're the predictable results of systems designed to advantage some and disadvantage others. But here's what's powerful: the dashboard doesn't just document problems, it illuminates solutions. By gathering comprehensive data about the challenges Black businesses face, it enables targeted interventions that can create meaningful change. This systematic approach acknowledges the unique barriers faced by Black entrepreneurs while providing concrete tools to address them. So, what does all this mean for you? What can we learn from Bibi Faulk's journey and these broader patterns of innovation emerging from intersectional identities? First, it means reconsidering what we view as business assets. Your unique perspective, shaped by your race, gender, ability status, sexuality, cultural background, and more, isn't something to minimize or overcome. It's potentially your greatest source of insight and innovation. The aspects of yourself that you've been taught to downplay might actually be your competitive advantage. Second, it means embracing adaptive leadership. The most effective leaders don't apply a one size fits all approach. They recognize the diverse needs and perspectives within their teams and communities, and they adapt their leadership styles accordingly. They understand that creating truly inclusive environments requires more than diversity statements. It requires fundamental shifts in how power is distributed and decisions are made. Third, it highlights the critical importance of community support. No entrepreneur succeeds alone. Building strong networks and alliances is essential, particularly for those navigating systemic barriers. These communities provide not just emotional support, but practical resources, connections, and opportunities. But perhaps most importantly, these stories challenge us to rethink success itself. What if success isn't about conforming to existing models, but about creating new ones that better serve diverse communities? What if our differences aren't obstacles to overcome, but foundations upon which to build more innovative, inclusive, and impactful businesses? This perspective is particularly relevant for Black women entrepreneurs who often find themselves navigating multiple layers of identity and expectation. As Bibi's story demonstrates, there's immense power in stepping away from the superwoman cape, the expectation to be strong all the time, to carry everyone else's burdens, to never show vulnerability. In my conversation with Bibi, she emphasized how embracing her complete identity required letting go of these expectations. It meant setting boundaries without apology. It meant resting without explanation. It meant defining strength not as endurance, but as authenticity. This resonates deeply with what many are now calling the soft girl era, not a trend, but a profound recalibration. It's about Black women, particularly those who have spent years in survival mode, shifting from constantly grinding to finally grounding in joy, peace, softness, and self prioritization. For too many Black entrepreneurs, especially women, success has been defined by how much they can endure, how many barriers they can overcome, how many burdens they can carry. But what if true success lies in creating businesses that allow for wholeness, that make space for rest and joy alongside growth and achievement, that value softness as much as strength? So I stand before you today with an urgent call to action. Embrace your complete self, all of it. The parts society celebrates and the parts it tells you to hide. Your race, your gender, your sexuality, your disability, your neurodivergence, your cultural background. These aren't liabilities to overcome, they're assets to leverage. They're perspectives that allow you to see problems others miss and imagine solutions others can't conceive. Stop trying to fit into systems that weren't designed for you. Instead, use your unique vantage point to create new systems that serve communities that have been overlooked and undervalued. Your lived experience isn't just personally meaningful, it's professionally valuable, it's economically powerful, it's socially transformative. The future doesn't belong to those who conform, it belongs to those who bring their full, authentic selves to every table they sit at, and who build new tables when the existing ones don't serve their communities. It belongs to those who recognize that their differences aren't weaknesses, but superpowers. So I challenge you today, what unique perspective do you bring? What problem can you see that others might miss? What solution can you imagine that others can't envision? How might embracing your complete intersectional identity unlock innovations that could transform your industry, your community, or even the world? Because when we dare to bring our full selves to our work, when we leverage our intersectional identities rather than hiding them, we don't just build better businesses. We create more just economies. We foster more inclusive communities. And ultimately, we build a more equitable world. Thank you.